Hello everyone, I'm back for your weekly prospect report. My name is Ryan Garcia. This is Fireside Yankees, your one-stop shop for Yankees coverage. We've got an action-packed prospect report. We're going to go through every single level of minor league baseball, highlight the Yankees' top performers at each level, talk about what those performances mean for their outlook in the organization. There's so much to discuss, and we really appreciate you guys stopping by. And if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to check out Fireside Yankees on all of your favorite social media platforms. We again appreciate you guys tuning in. Without further ado, let's get into this week's prospect report. Let's get started talking about Engleth Urena, who was ranked as my number 18 prospect going into the 2025 season. Now, he was technically ranked number 19, but with Jason Dominguez officially graduating, he is now slid up to number 18. He had 3 home runs this week with 5 RBIs and a 1,000 OPS. And after not having a single home run through his first 8 games, he hit 3 home runs in 4 days and picked up another hit and a walk on Sunday to round out his series. He has some really good pull side power. He is another one of those catchers where he's young, he's projectable. The Yankees have a really good track record with these kinds of catchers. And if Urena continues to pull the ball in the air at the rate he has, he may be someone who gets to Hudson Valley at the high A level fairly quickly. He has some pretty solid contact rates, makes really good swing decisions, and again has displayed an ability to really impact the baseball and do damage on contact. All of those are desirable traits, especially again when we talk about someone who lifts the ball as much as Urena does and pulls the ball as much as Urena does. Now, the Yankees are an organization that tends to be a little more patient with catching prospects to make sure they can develop their defensive value, but that seems to be more of a thing at the AA level when they're advancing someone from AA to AAA versus someone from single A to high A or high A to AA, as we've seen with Rafael Flores, Jesus Rodriguez, and Augustin Ramirez, who all got pretty quick call-ups from high A to AA and from single A to high A, although I believe Rafael Flores only spent a very brief amount of time in single A after being signed as an undrafted free agent. Urena is someone who I think the Yankees should be extremely excited about. I think fans should pay close attention to because he's only 20 years old, and he likely would have made these strides earlier in his career if he didn't miss the entire 2023 season due to injury. He was excellent in the Florida Complex League last year in his first year back from injury, and I'm really excited to see what he continues to do throughout the 2025 season. This is his first year at the single A level, and so far, it's been 2 thumbs up. Moving on to Griffin Herring. Griffin Herring was excellent for the New York Yankees. He was ranked as their number 26 prospect on our website going into the 2025 season, and he delivered his 3rd consecutive start where he just dominated. He had 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 4 walks, and 9 strikeouts, picking up the win. Now, a couple of notes about the lineup he faced in St. Lucie. They had Jeff McNeil leading off, and so he faced Jeff McNeil 3 times and sat him down on a ground out each and every time, so that's really impressive to get a big league hitter out 3 different times in your 3rd ever pro start. Now, the command wasn't as sharp. He walked 4 batters. That was the most walks he's had in either of those 3 starts, but he pitched deeper into the game than he has throughout his first 3 starts, pitching 6 complete innings, and he had his most strikeouts with 9. His changeup didn't really get involved until later on in the start, but once it did, he was able to rip through that St. Lucie lineup. That kick change is absolutely gross. His slider did a lot of heavy lifting early in the start, and it's a really good pitch due to its sharp dropping action. And he's got that fastball with good vertical ride coming from a little bit of a lower release height that he can throw up in the zone for swings and misses. I believe that pitch is a solid one, even though it's only sitting at around 91 miles an hour when you factor in the extension he gets on that pitch. Herring is someone that if he can continue to develop velocity could be a really strong starting pitcher at the next level. I have a back-end rotation projection for Herring right now. He was someone who was a reliever, mostly in college, a multi-inning reliever, but started a lot in high school. And look, he has the most strikeouts in the Florida State League right now and the lowest qualified ERA. I really do think this is a talented starting pitcher, and one of the nice quirks that Herring has in his game is that he keeps the ball on the ground a lot. He is naturally very good at preventing damage contact. If he can continue to do that, then the high strikeout rates and the, decent enough walk rates, like he's walking a good amount of batters, but not enough for it to be a problem, could result in a really productive starting pitcher for the 2025 season, and a very swift promotion to high A Hudson Valley. I don't think he'll spend a long time in single A. And once you get to high A, it's a question of, all right, do you hit the ground running? Is there an adjustment period? Because if he continues to hit the ground running and he hasn't really struggled at any level, college or pro at this point, then we start having some conversations about, hey, this is a guy who can make two promotions in one given year, and rocket himself all the way up to Double A. So Griffin Herring, really, really enticing prospect, someone who you should keep tabs on if you're a Yankees fan. And for the Yankees' number 20 prospect, Clayton Beeter, who we ranked as number 20 going into the 2025 season, he began a rehab assignment in single A. He pitched in 1 1/3 innings, and he struck out all 4 batters he faced. He didn't allow a hit, didn't allow a walk, didn't allow a run as a result of striking out all 4 of the batters he faced. And his fastball velocity was really, really enticing. He was sitting at 97 miles per hour for the first time in his career. He had 19 inches of vertical ride on that pitch. That slider was absolutely vicious. It was getting even more drop than it usually does while maintaining that, almost 0 inches of horizontal movement. It's a death ball. That's kind of the category of breaking ball that we give to pitches that don't have a lot of lateral movement or any lateral movement, but have a lot of drop. And that death ball can be absolutely vicious for righties and lefties. Beeter is someone who is moved from a starter to a permanent reliever role. The New York Yankees should have Clayton Beeter up as soon as humanly possible. Whenever he's done with his rehab assignment, he should be up. Like, he is that good. He is that good, and I think that his stuff will play at the big league level. For some other notable performers, you had Grayson Carter, who tossed 1 1/3 innings of 2-run ball with 7 strikeouts. He hit 100.7 miles per hour on the radar gun. Brendan Decker had 3 innings of shutout baseball, 2 hits, 6 strikeouts. Parks Harbor had a 391 OBP, 421 slugging percentage, and 812 OPS with a home run and 3 RBIs. And Juan Mathis had a 400 OBP, 500 slug, 900 OPS, and 6 RBIs in the series. Moving on to high A with the Hudson Valley Renegades. They swept Wilmington, and this is the most action-packed level we're going to talk about today because, oh my god, did they have one hell of a week. It starts with George Barr Jr., who is now the Yankees' number 1 prospect after Jason Dominguez's graduation. He had a 545 OBP in this series, a 600 slugging percentage, a 1.125 OPS. He hit a home run, and he had 5 RBIs. And the hype for George Barr Jr. really started to boom in spring training when he showed up, looked stronger, had a little more muscle on him, just really grew into his frame. This guy's only 19 years old, and he showed up to spring training hitting the ball hard, making really good swing decisions, looking a lot better than he did last year. He remains a freak athlete at shortstop and third base. He is a really good defensive infielder who made some really strong plays this week. I was really impressed with the swing decisions. I think that you continue to look at George Barr Jr., and if you look at the data this year, if you look at the film this year, you see a really good ball player. And I think that that's something with George Barr Jr. that has made prospect analysts and evaluators really fall in love with the profile. It's the ability to just, pop. Absolutely pop. Like, he's such an enticing prospect. He's someone who has so much upside, and the Yankees should be really excited about what he can become because, gosh, the sky's the limit for this kid. He really is one of the most well-rounded prospects in the game. He's a brilliant defensive player. He's got tons of raw pop. He's got really good feel for the bat to ball, and he's got really, really good play discipline with some speed as well. So George Barr Jr., really good week for him. If he continues to mash, that AA promotion will not take very long. Like, he already was at high A last year, had a really good postseason there. He could be someone who moves up relatively quickly considering how old he is. Coming in is their number 2 prospect, Ben Hess, who, he was dominant. 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts, picked up the dub. He had a really good showing against Brooklyn last week, where he went 4 2/3 innings and struck out 9 batters and didn't allow an earned run. He also didn't allow an earned run in this start. I have to correct myself. He had an unearned run, so he did allow a run, but it was unearned. He was just brilliant. Like, that fastball he has, which he releases it from a lower release height, gets a good amount of ride on it. He gets way more ride than the average fastball released at that release height. He gets tons, and I truly mean tons, of movement on that curveball. It's a lot of lateral and vertical movement. Then you've got a changeup in there that moves a lot side to side. It has some good depth. And he's got a slider that he can mix in there that is really good against right-handed batters. He's got a deep arsenal. he's not gonna overpower you with like 100 miles an hour. Like, that's not his game, but he's still got 93, 94 you can sit at. He's got good extension on the fastball. It's a fastball that just overpowers hitters, and that's a tool or a skill that I find very valuable. I think that hitting, being able to hit someone's fastball, or like having a fastball isn't hittable, is very important for the rest of your repertoire, because it allows you to attack in the zone consistently, get ahead in counts, and then, most importantly, set yourself up to have, a secondary that you can throw in there for a strikeout or a chase that results in some ugly contact. So, Ben Hess, really, really impressed with the second performance. The Yankees' number 3 prospect, the guy ranked number 3 coming into the season, Bryce Cunningham, tossed 7 innings of 4-hit baseball, no runs allowed, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, also picked up the dub. You're going to notice here that there was 5 starters for Hudson Valley who picked up 9 strikeouts. 5 of their 6 starters. 5 straight. It was snapped on Sunday. Like, this was crazy. But Cunningham, he pitched the deepest into his outing out of anyone we're going to talk about today. And look, he allowed 6 runs to Brooklyn. He still pitched deep into that game despite that. But, oh my goodness, right? Like, oh my goodness, that was a dominant performance against Wilmington. I mean, he had the fastball going. He touched 96 multiple times. He had the slider and the curveball. I mean, they were just... They couldn't handle those pitches. And Cunningham, similarly to Ben Hess, lower release height than you would expect. That's for someone who's 6'5". He's also 6'5", like Ben Hess. Good extension on the fastball. He throws a little bit harder, which helps, because by throwing a little bit harder, that extension is going to play up a little more. So Cunningham has a little more zip on the heater, and his changeup's pretty good pitch as well, but the breaking balls have really developed for him. He hasn't changed them. He's just relying on them a little bit more and using them a little more aggressively. And honestly, look, his ability to get swings and misses is unparalleled, by most pitchers at his level. He has the most strikeouts and the most innings pitched for any pitcher at the high A level right now. He is a strikeout machine. He does not walk a lot of guys. He has really good command. He can pitch deep into games. He doesn't allow damage contact. There are so many plus traits here at Bryce Cunningham. He's going to fall not fall to the wayside. He's not going to get as much hype because he wasn't the Yankees' first round pick, but I think he's just as good as Ben Hess. And not being able to tell who's better between these two is a good problem for the New York Yankees. And I'm very excited to say that, because these two guys rock. And I think these two guys can be top 100 prospects by the end of the season. Speaking of another guy who could have some top 100 helium going his way in 2025, I have who I ranked as number 14 prospect going into 2025, and that's Carlos LaGrange. He tossed 6 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts. I feel like when I read off 2 earned runs for a Hudson Valley starter, you just go, oh, okay, so that was the worst start they've had this week. And it's crazy to say that, but Carlos LaGrange was remarkable in this outing against Wilmington. He got killed against Brooklyn. They really tagged him. He didn't have command issues, or out of the zone, but he had them in zone. He was just getting tagged all game. But he really showed up and showed out in this outing. He's got a sweeper that he developed last season that has tons of lateral movement that he can throw. He's got a sharper gyro slider, kind of a cutter kind of pitch that he can throw for swings and misses as well in soft contact. His fastball, I mean, it touches 102 and he's got some extension on it, so that pitch is a plus pitch. He's got a changeup as well he can mix in there. Look, Carlos LaGrange is throwing more strikes in high A through his first 2 starts, and that's a really good sign. He has a 65.5% strike percentage compared to last year, around 55.5%. It's too small of a sample size to conclude that his command has gotten noticeably better, but if he's able to attack the zone consistently, this is someone who could have a really, really, really successful minor league career and live up to that potential frontline starter outcome. And at the very least, he's someone who I think has reliever upside and could be a late inning option for the Yankees in their bullpen, even in a contention window. I don't think this is someone who the Yankees should sleep on. I don't think this is someone prospect evaluators should sleep on. I think this is someone who has a lot of question marks around his health and command, but the things that he can control, or the things that he can fully control, which is his stuff and his, just the output of velo and movement, those are plus, and that really does excite me. So Carlos LaGrange, really good start, really excited for him. Elmer Rodriguez Cruz shoved as well. He was acquired from the Boston Red Sox for Carlos Narvaez. He tossed 6 2/3 innings of 3-hit baseball with 1 earned run, no walks, and 9 strikeouts. He's got a fastball, a 4-seam fastball, a sinker, Both those pitches sit in the mid-90s. He topped out at like 97, 98 in this start. He's got a curveball, a slider, and a splitter. He's got 5 pitches. That's really good. I love my 5-pitch starters. I think guys with deep repertoires that have plus pitches in that repertoire are really valuable to a major league organization. He was locating extremely well in this start after struggling with command in previous starts, and the swing and miss was just there for him all day. Anything he wanted, he got with that breaking ball. It felt like he was getting chases, ugly swings all day, and if he continues to pitch this way, considering he has some experience at high A last year, he could be someone who moves up to double A fairly quickly as well. He did struggle with command at high A last year, 15.1% walk rate, but he had a 3.77 ERA and a 52.9% ground ball rate. If he has, a strong period of success, through 7-8 starts, he's, got a good strikeout to walk rate, the ground balls are there, the run prevention's there, then I don't see a reason why the Yankees wouldn't have Elmer Rodriguez Cruz go up to double-A. He won't turn 22 until August. So if he's a 21-year-old right-handed starting pitcher who can touch 99 miles an hour on his fastball, and he's pitching decently well at double-A, like, he'll also have some top 100 hype. So the thing that I really like is that the Hudson Valley Renegades, their rotation has like 4 guys who I think could be in the top 100 by the end of the season. So really, really encouraging there. Brendan Jones, who now slides in as a number 30 prospect with Jason Dominguez's graduation on my list, had a 478 on base percentage, a 647 slugging percentage, 2 home runs, and 2 RBIs. He was pretty cold entering this series. He had a pretty rough start to his year, but he caught fire in this series. He was excellent. We're starting to see some of that pull side power come to life. He's someone who I think has a lot of Caleb Durbin to him, where it's the raw power isn't very good. Like it's something you have to work around, but he learns how to pull the ball in the air and he starts hitting some home runs because of it. And he becomes someone worth noting, of value, of importance to an organization. He's got really, really good defensive abilities, really good speed, a really good feel for the strike zone. Brendan Jones gets a lot of comparisons to Brett Gardner, and they are deserved because he has that same hard-nosed grit mentality, grit profile, but is able to blend that in with some modern philosophies like getting on base, playing good defense, and pulling the ball in the air to right field, which is going to work as a left-handed hitter at Yankee Stadium. And Brendan Jones, a left-handed hitter, it could work for him at Yankee Stadium as well. The last player we're going to highlight is Josh Gross, who tossed 5 1/3 innings of 2-hit baseball, 1 run, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts. Gross is someone who struggled last year in high A and single A with command, but his stuff is pretty good. And I think that his upside here is he could be a pretty good reliever for the Yankees down the road. Fastball's got good movement, good life. Changeup's pretty good. Slider's pretty good. I just think the lack of depth in his arsenal and the command issues will eventually push him towards a reliever role. So I got a reliever projection on him, but again, as an 11th round pick, like, if he's a major league reliever and he performs well in that role, that is a really, really big win for an organization because 11th round picks don't become big leaguers usually. So there's that. Gross is only 22 years old. He's not old at all. He's a young guy. Doesn't have a lot of pro experience. Was drafted in 2023. Last year was his first full year in the minor leagues. He's someone who could take that next leap this year, kind of like a Cam Schlittler who took a little bit of time to get himself going. Some other top performers include Will Bryan, 3 innings, shutout baseball, 5 strikeouts, and Jose Colmenares. He had an OPS of 1.013 with a home run and 3 RBIs. Moving on to Somerset, they had some tough losses this week. The bullpen wasn't sharp for them, but there were still some top performers, including Spencer Jones, who hit 3 home runs this week with 4 RBIs and an 801 OPS. Now, the Altoona curve surrendered 3 home runs to Jones that were all at or above 111 miles an hour in terms of exit velocity. And while the strikeouts are still a problem for Spencer Jones, the home run output is a lot better. It took him 46 games last year to hit 6 home runs. This year, it took him just 14 games. So really, really, really encouraging there. In terms of damage output, Spencer Jones's power is relatively unmatched. There are very few hitters who can do damage at the rate that Spencer Jones does damage at. We all know the strikeout issues are the problem, but I want to really emphasize just how good the glove is, because the glove was remarkable in this series. And again, like, if he can just continue to pull the ball in the air, or hit the ball in the air, he doesn't really have to worry about pulling it. But if he continues to hit the ball in the air the way he did, we could be having some fun conversation about Spencer Jones midway through the season. Talking about guys with some power, let's talk about Rafael Flores, who hit another home run this week and had 7 RBIs with an 826 OPS. he's one of the few guys who can kind of match up with Spencer Jones in the exit velocity department. And as a catcher, the Yankees are going to take their time with him at AA to make sure his glove really settles. But the bat is explosive. I'm really excited about what he can bring to the table offensively. He is Rule 5 eligible at the end of the season, which makes him an interesting target for either a trade or something along the lines of maybe even getting called up this year because he's right-handed, and the Yankees might need some more right-handed hitting depth. I'm very interested to see how the Yankees handle Rafael Flores this year because I think he's a good prospect. I ranked him as my number 11 prospect after the graduation of Jasson Dominguez, and honestly, I believe. I believe in Rafael Flores. I think the bat works, but I understand that the New York Yankees are not going to sit here and hold on to players and cling on to players. They have to make trades that will make them better, and they have to factor in that 40-man roster situation, which is important here. Moving on, we're going to talk about Brendan Beck, who I did not rank due to injuries on my top 30, and he had 6 innings pitched of shutout baseball. He was perfect, actually. He didn't allow a walk or a hit. He struck out 5. And man, he was brilliant. I mean, he's been awesome in his first 2 AA starts. 10 innings, 10 strikeouts, no runs allowed, 1 walk. Man, he's been brilliant. And injuries are really the only reason why Brendan Beck does not have more excitement around him and why he didn't get through the organization quicker. He's 26 years old and he's just starting out in AA. That's because he has just 12 starts as a pro. He had just 10 pro starts going into this year. He pitched in just 1 minor league season. That was in 2023. Since being drafted in 2021, there's a lot that he needs to accomplish, and there's a lot that he wants to accomplish, but he's flying through this system. When he's healthy, he pitches and he shoves. So he's got a fastball that sits around 91 miles an hour, good vertical movement, very over-the-top delivery. That pitch isn't a dominant one. It's very predictable. It's not a great pitch. But his slider, curveball, and changeup are all really, really strong pitches, and I believe in those pitches to carry that 4-seam fastball enough. And honestly, if the Yankees keep getting garbage starts out of Carlos Carrasco, I think they should keep their tabs on Brendan Beck because I think he could provide major league starts and competitive ones by the summer. Like, he looks good, and he hasn't really ever struggled at the pro level. I'm still waiting for that other foot to drop. It hasn't happened yet, and every week that goes by without it happening is another week where you go, is this guy a big leaguer? Like, is this guy closer than we think? The Yankees said it themselves. They didn't think he had much development left to do when they initially drafted him, so we'll see if he can get the job done and get up to the big league soon. Some other performances we're going to note. Trent Sellers, 5 2/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. Cam Schlittler, 4 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. He had 5 unearned runs. His defense completely murdered him. So that's why I didn't really want to highlight this performance because it wasn't really a great one. But I wanted to mention it because, it wasn't a bad one either. And, he's someone who's pretty close to the major leagues. Dylan Jaso had 318 on base percentage in this series, a 500 slug, an 818 OPS, 1 home run, and 4 RBIs. He's someone I'm going to keep tabs on because he's starting to hit a little bit, and he's only 22 at AA. But now moving on to AAA, Everson Pereira, the number 21 ranked prospect according to our rankings coming into 2025, had a 333 OBP, 579 slug, 912 OPS, 2 home runs, and 5 RBIs. Look, I'm going to keep this one brief. Everson Pereira doesn't make a lot of contact still, hits the ball hard, and kind of needs that to turn around. He needs to have his contact rates go up. That's just the reality of it. If they don't improve, he's not going to be a big leaguer. He's someone who's down to his final minor league option. The Yankees have a lot of outfielders. I wonder if the Yankees are going to trade him at the deadline, and I think Pereira, it does give him something to play for still, because yes, the Yankees have a lot of outfield depth at the major league level this year. There's not really a lane for him right now, and yes, the Yankees, haven't really been aggressive in playing him at the big league level, but he could be a big leaguer. It's still there for him. He's still really talented. He still hits the ball hard. Still's a good defender in the outfield. Still's a good athlete. But he's going to have to hone down. He's going to have to cut down the strikeouts. I think the Yankees and Everson Pereira, they're both at the point where they need to figure out if he's a big leaguer or not. And that may not happen with the Yankees. They may have to happen somewhere else, whether that's a trade or not, just because he's going to be out of minor league options. And I don't think the Yankees want to lose him for nothing. Coming up next, we have Jorbit Vivas, who's in a similar situation. He'll be out of minor league options at the end of the year. And he's hitting really well. He had a 481 OBP this week with a 500 slug, a 981 OPS, Didn't pick up a hit or an RBI though, but he's hitting. I mean, his hard hit rate's up, his exit velo's up, his contact rates are way up, his line drive rates are up. He's really hitting in AAA this year. He's putting up a really strong performance. He's on the Yankees 40-man roster as well. He is an infielder, which helps, but as a left-handed infielder, I'm not sure the Yankees are desperate to call him up right now. Again, another guy who could be utilized in trade talks and might be happy to be traded to somewhere where the playing time is a little more available for him. Some other notable performers include Ismael Mungia, who robbed the home run, had a 375 OBP, a 474 slug, 848 OPS, a home run, and 2 RBIs. Sean Boyle delivered 5 innings of scoreless baseball, 1 hit, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. And Zach Messinger had 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, and 8 strikeouts. That'll wrap up our prospect report for this week. We really appreciate you guys tuning in and checking out Fireside Yankees and our prospect report. If you enjoyed today's video and you want to see more of this, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to check out Fireside Yankees on all of your favorite social media platforms. Thank you again for tuning in, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Let's go Yankees. Peace out, everybody.
Perfect.